Hello everyone, welcome back. We'll be talking about CBD and how it didn't work and how it did work. With Keegan, we tried up to 6 pharmaceuticals. We were running 4 at one time. I think we have tried 14 altogether at that time, and so we were done using pharmaceuticals because at a point you use so much it takes away from your child. So we were willing to adventure into CBD. It's not an easy road. There's no doctors to tell you, hey, try this or try this amount or this tincture amount and go up by this. It's all on you. How it happened to us, I would say the doctors were not fully on board with CBD. We always had to sign waivers. They never really were that great about it. It was always hush hush. We thought it worked. We saw developmental progressions. We did also see probably his seizures go to about a quarter of what they were, but we also had Keegan's GI issues come up at that time, and so the doctors were blaming the CBD, saying it was the CBD's fault. But now we know that it wasn't CBD's fault, but we also don't see a reason to use CBD since we do have seizure control for 6 months, and we have progressions with crawling and his activities.
We had exhausted all the pharmaceuticals that we could try at that time. Like, we really thought about it long and hard. The pharmaceuticals for seizure control basically shut down the extra activity in Keegan's brain, so therefore made him like a zombie. For 6 months, Keegan wouldn't even laugh. He wasn't able to, he wasn't able to sit up. He wasn't even able to hold his head up. So at one point, like, we just said, like, this is something that we need to try. We need to advocate that this is something that we wanted to try. We had been taking all of the doctor's recommendations and really hoping that would work. But like Dad said, after about the 14th medicine, we had just kind of came to a realization that we may never gain seizure control, so this was something that we really wanted to at least try for Keegan's sake. In the beginning, it was really amazing for Keegan. We had seen so much improvement cognitively. He was searching for us across the room. He was following Dad into different rooms. I mean, he was present when at no other time on seizure medication was Keegan able to hold that cognitive stability. So overall, I think that it really improved Keegan's overall quality of life. I think that it really helped in a time that we didn't think that anything was helping. And so we pushed really hard to keep that until we had no choice. There's just not enough medical research that goes into it.
Yeah, it was a good scapegoat for the doctors to blame the CBD for his GI issues.
Yeah.
And CBD has success stories for other children, and it works great. And other children, it kind of works, and some children, it doesn't work at all. Just depends.
Yeah.
And I know even with CBD, Mom and I think we went through 4 different companies. And within the companies, we tried different strengths. There's 10 to 1s, 15 to 1s, 20 1s. And then there's, no THC. So the 20 to 1 is 20 cannabinoid, 1 to THC. So then there's 20 to 0s, and so there's all kinds of different CBD batches by all different kinds of companies, and so there's a lot of research that goes into it. Make sure that it's something that's tested, something that's regulated, and so it was a job on its own.
I think that my advice to anybody wanting to try this for their kid is research. Your top priority is knowing that whatever you're going to give to your child isn't going to interact with their medications that they were already taking. We actually knew that there was an interaction between his Onfi and CBD. It just makes the Onfi more powerful in a sense. So we knew that taking it on, and we knew to look out for those side effects. My first advice is consult your neurologist. Talk with them. Everybody is going to basically give you that, like, I don't know, I think it's like half and half. All the nurses, when we were admitted to the hospital, were super on board. They were very curious about our journey with CBD. They really wanted to know more and educate themselves. The doctors were just very strict in their research and lack of research in CBD. You can go and buy any strand of CBD, and that's not what you want to do for your kid at all. I recommend doing your research. We went with Haley's Hope after everything was said and done. That's the one that we chose to consistently follow. And along with Haley's Hope, they don't give you direct dosing, but you can go on to a site called Realm of Healing, and they will give you exact dosing for your child, whatever they're specifically using, the brand, the dosage. It's all different. Don't just jump into it thinking like you know everything about CBD, because there's actually just a lot of different variables that go into it. So make sure you research it, talk to your doctors, educate yourself on the symptoms, because the reason that Keegan had to stop CBD is because number one side effect of CBD is diarrhea, and so Keegan was suffering from that, and I mean just like extreme diarrhea all day every day. In order to make sure that that was seriously not a side effect of CBD, we had to go through the process of taking Keegan off CBD, and at that point things got so much better, and with our neurologist we were able to get on a level of seizure control medications that we were comfortable. Keegan's progressing, we're going down on all the different seizure medications that we knew were not benefiting Keegan, and we have seen so much improvement. So maybe it's something that we would try in the future if seizures do present themselves again. There are more FDA regulated medications out there now.
The new FDA regulated CBD medication, I believe, if I'm not saying it wrong, is Epidiolex, and there's definitely some pros and cons to that as well. I believe it's an alcohol base, so you do have to use it as a nasal spray, which burns the nose. But again, it is regulated, it is tested, it is FDA tested, so they are trying. We're lucky to live in this day of age where we have this modern testing and this medical advancements that we can help our children out and advocate as much as possible.
Yeah, and we're lucky to live in a state that it's so readily available. It made it easy for us. I know in some states it's not, but you can actually buy it online and have it shipped to your door, and that's what we did every time. You can't find that CBD for kids in dispensaries anyways. All that stuff goes online. So I would highly recommend checking out Haley's Hope. That's who we went through. Every kid is going to be different, so definitely go through Realm of Healing. They will help with any questions. Realm of Healing was like super helpful with all the dosing. You can get different syringes and stuff. Don't go with tincture doses because they're not accurate. So try to find a small little syringe that's a 1 ml syringe and try to be consistent with it. I really hope that sees this knows that with any kind of seizure control medicine, there's a 50-50 chance. So maybe even less, maybe sometimes more, but there's not enough research behind CBD to say that it's an effective seizure control medication. Sometimes it's a miracle drug for everybody. So of course it was something that we were interested in trying for Keegan. We obviously never want Keegan to have to suffer from another seizure again. Advocate for your kid. Go the extra mile, do the research, educate yourself in what you think is best for your kids. There's a lot of research out there. There's a lot of people trying stuff. And just because it didn't work for us doesn't mean that it won't work for you or your families. But really, that was just our experience.
Before we had CBD on, we were doing 6 pharmaceuticals, all maxed out. He was having anywhere from 50 to 100 seizures a day. We started CBD, I would say within a few days, we were cut down to about 25 seizures a day and continuously working down. We did have bad days and we had good days, flip-flopped, but we still never went into that drastic range of 75 to 100. So I wouldn't say CBD was a failure for Keegan. It just didn't control everything that we wanted it to control. It did help in dialing back a lot of the seizures, and we got a lot of Keegan back because we took a lot of his medicine away, and that's what really started this whole ball rolling to where we are now.
Some kids that find total seizure control are not suffering from as bad as epilepsy as Keegan was. Keegan's epilepsy is very extreme. When it's present, it's something that's almost uncontrollable. Getting all these different diagnoses on top of just epilepsy is going to be a different kind of scenario as well. So if you're just dealing with epilepsy, I would definitely suggest trying it out. Keegan has epilepsy, he also has autism, and he has eosinophilic colitis. So he has a lot of unknown factors going on with him. Everything that he has is very rare. I mean, like 1 in 300 or less that suffer from these kinds of things. So it just didn't work for Keegan entirely. It improved things dramatically, and I mean, that is nothing to take for granted. But obviously, when any parents are seeking seizure control, they want 100% seizure control and not just 50 or 25%. And they want that to be consistent and not just have good and bad days. But if you're on your road to having seizure control, this is something that you should try. I definitely think that everybody should try CBD. If you have any questions, you are welcome to message us anytime. We are here and very educated. We advocated for CBD for a while because before we found Keegan's magic cocktails and medicine, it was really the only thing that we had that brought back Keegan's smiles and Keegan's laughter and Keegan's personality, and it wasn't just taken over by seizure control medicine. So I think that overall quality of life is always something that you want to give to your kids, and that's something that we definitely received with CBD. Even if it wasn't what we had 100% hope for, it was a great experience, and it was worth trying. I know like 4 weeks ago I promised you guys this video, but I'll be posting videos hopefully every Wednesday and every Sunday, and we'll see you guys on our next vlog.